Welcome, everybody, to this episode of SKK Review Stuff. So, today we're doing something a little bit different. We are looking at a book that actually was given to me by my brother. It's called The Scent of a Dream Travels in a World of Coffee by Sebastiao Salgado. I hope I pronounced that right. So, Sebastiao is a legendary photographer, and the interesting thing about it is that I just came to find out was that he used to work in the ICO, which is the International Coffee Organization. His parents also used to own a coffee farm. So this book, which is a photo book, and it's a very thick photo book full of pictures, is done by somebody who really understands coffee and who understands the industry. So when I flipped through it and I looked at all the photos, I realized that actually a lot of it sends very, very strong messages. So the way we're gonna do this one today is that I actually flipped through the book already, and I chose the photo which spoke to me the most, and we're gonna talk about that photo. And if you guys are keen on having one for yourself, please go and find one. I'm sure you can find them online, and this particular book was purchased at Book Access. So this photo is on the 228th and 229th page of the book. It's called Transporting Coffee Beans After Selection by Hand. The photo was taken in 2014. Now, this photo spoke to me on so many levels. First of all, if you notice that everybody in the photo are women, so all the people in here are women, and they're all carrying one continuous line or a string of which holds coffee, and they're all in sacks, but everybody's working together to actually carry the coffee and moving it from different parts of the farm. So if we talk about in coffee, a lot of people don't realize that there's a lot of work that actually goes into coffee, and it passes through so many hands. Ultimately, what most people see is always the final cup, the espresso, the latte, the cappuccino, but from a farm level, there's so much work to be done. And this extends from the farm to the roasters to the baristas. So this photo really encapsulates the amount of hands and work that coffee has to go through to produce that final cup. The nice thing about his style of photography is that it's always in black and white, so you get to see a lot of different textures that are more accentuated with the fact or the lack of color. So it's the same in different parts of the book as well. So you can see here it's the same thing, and people are transporting it up from the raised beds all the way up the slopes. It's all one continuous sack of coffee or a long continuous thing with different sacks containing the coffee inside. And just for one raised bed, this is the amount of people it takes, or for multiple raised beds, but essentially per bed over here you do need quite a few people to help carry the coffee up. At every level of the farm, there's so much work. Here you have a group of women sorting the coffee by hand, and this is a painstaking process. So having a good quality cup of coffee really rides on the back of many people. On one hand, you have photos like this where you have the farm, the drying area, and old lady standing on top of a coffee. And here you have another lady who's sorting the coffee by hand, and people working at the back here in the washing station. So this was probably like a fully washed coffee. Yeah. So the book itself really shows a lot of the work that goes into coffee beans at the farm level. And I believe that if you're a coffee lover and if you really want to be able to see what goes on in the farms on a very emotional level, this is a really, really great book to have. So yeah, if you enjoyed this showcase, please get yourself a copy and really look at these photos. Appreciate the work and appreciate the time that it takes to get you the coffee that you're drinking in your living room right now. So there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed that little show and tell that we had, and I hope the photo actually was strong enough to invoke some sort of emotion. Do check him out. His photos are amazing, and I think most photographers would aspire to be able to take photos like that. Sebastiao Salgado, the scent of a dream, travels in the world of coffee.